What is good, YouTube is showing, and are you not ready for this one? We got our top 10 teams heading into week 12, ranking NFL teams. So, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment down below what you thought of this. Just keep in mind, it's my opinion. Things can change, everything can change, but this top 10 is based on who the 10 best teams are in the NFL right now, and who I think are the top teams uh, that are going to win the Super Bowl. Who is more likely to win the Super Bowl in the long run, not overreacting to one game or another. So let's get into it. Teams that just missed were the Browns, Chargers, Saints, Vikings, and the Colts. Colts because Carson Wentz, he's been shaky. They just barely beat the Jaguars. They've been up and down all year. Their defense isn't going to carry them anywhere. They're a good team. They're just not top 10. Vikings are in that discussion, kind of, but they're not quite there for me. The defense isn't there, and Kirk Cousins in the offense has been kind of up and down. They've had some shaky performances. The Saints with Trevor Simeon, they're really, really well coached team, but the Trevor Simeon in the passing game isn't enough for them to be a top 10 team. I don't quite trust the Saints completely for that. The Browns, they got destroyed by the Patriots. They had a nice, convincing win against the Bengals, but the Bengals are kind of also just missed team. Uh, those teams are inconsistent. Baker's now struggling with injuries, and he's just not the quarterback the Browns need. And that defense looked pretty bad against the Patriots, and nothing worked. So they're not top 10 right now. The Chargers have been in a slump. They have lost a lot of games in the past few weeks, and their games against the the Vikings last week, that was pretty disappointing. Their offense has been quite inconsistent, so they missed. So all those teams, the Falcons, they had a nice stretch going there a little bit, but it's going to be a struggle for them too. The offense was everything was terrible against the Cowboys, and their defense is still not that good. They have playmakers, but they just have too many holes. So now getting into the top 10, at number 10, you got the Baltimore Ravens. They just barely sneak in here or actually hang on just because they're in the top 10. Let's just say it's one man. It's Lamar Jackson. That game against the Dolphins was just absolutely embarrassing. Um, that's just unacceptable. If you're the Ravens or a Ravens fan, you can't just get beat by one defensive game plan the whole time. You can't just have your quarterback under pressure and not develop pass protection schemes in the NFL to protect your quarterback, and you can't have your quarterback just literally fail just because the defense is just containing him and just making him feel uncomfortable. That just doesn't work. And defensively, this defense has been pretty up and down. It's been up and down. Averett's been having a pretty good year, always been having a good year, but this defense can be had. This defense, the Dolphins offense isn't that good, but this defense hasn't been as good in this year's past. So it's really just Lamar Jackson's playmaking that's winning the Ravens games, and they're just like an up and down team. They're a team that might win a playoff game, but I don't see going far in the playoffs. The receivers, Mark Andrews is a beast, but they got to figure out that protection, and they got to figure out that defense. And if teams key in on Lamar Jackson, they have film and game plan now to do so. So Ravens got to figure some stuff out, but they're at number 10. At number 9, we got the Kansas City Chiefs. This was kind of tough. I didn't want to overreact to one game. I didn't want to put the Chiefs too high. But a lot of the things that I think the Chiefs, why they won, is because of the defense of the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders just don't have a good defense. Also, a team that's not in the top 10, that's kind of middle of the pack team. They whooped them. They whooped them bad, and Tyreek Hill cover him. They didn't follow the same game plan teams have been doing this season. Cover two, get after Mahomes, don't let Tyreek Hill beat you deep, and then kind of the zones underneath with Travis Kelce. But Mahomes throwing for 406 yards, 5 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill had a monster game. Travis Kelce was great, and Darrell Williams with that obviously great touchdown catch. The defense only allowing 14 points was impressive. The Chiefs kind of ran a thing where so the defense the Chiefs ran was the defense similar to what they've been running all year. It's just make aggressive plays, blitz if you have to, get guys in the face of Derek Carr, and just really shut down that offense, which they did nicely for the most part. But I still don't trust this defense, although this defense has been playing better down the stretch. They haven't been allowing as many plays, and they haven't been allowing as many points. And that was against Jordan Love, kind of where that kind of started. But if this defense can keep up what they've been doing, the competition, the offenses are obviously going to get tougher. But if this defense can keep it up, then the Chiefs might actually be able to survive. But I don't think they're the top team in the AFC right now. I still think they got a way to go. They still, if they can beat the Cowboys and show something against the Cowboys, like kind of hold the Cowboys under 28 and score like 30, kind of like that, that would be impressive and that would make me rethink things. But right now, I still think the Chiefs are flawed and they got to show that they can beat that defensive game plan teams have been using all year to slow down this offense. But the defense is improving. Offense showed it can still be elite. They just got to find other playmakers outside of Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. So they're still good. Mahomes didn't make any mistakes, and that was a large part of this Chiefs winning. So Mahomes also has to be mature and not turn the ball over as much. But Kansas City 7, or no, Kansas City 9. My bad. Kansas City at 9. Uh, Number 8, you got the New England Patriots, who are on a roll, a team I was very high on coming into the season, and a team that I'm still high on now. A team that was had a rough start, but they're figuring stuff out now. They're playing sound football everywhere, really well coached team. Bill Belichick, everyone was saying Bill Belichick overrated this, overrated that. I'm like, look at his team. It's really bad last year. That the team was awful last year. Defense was still talented, but the offense was just it didn't have really any talent. So they add talent this year, and look, the Patriots are actually good. Mac Jones is the best rookie quarterback right now in football, and this offensive line is great. They can run the football, and now they're finding ways to get play action and pass the ball. Mac Jones is really efficient, really smart, and this offense is really coming up. And this defense is absolutely amazing. I mean, Matt Judon is a defensive player of the year candidate. JC Jackson is a ball hawk. This secondary is really good. They can blanket your receivers in a pass first league now. If you have a good secondary, that's going to get you far. So they have a great front seven and really playing some of the best football. It's just a team that I can't really jump up because it is a rookie quarterback and the receiving core isn't quite as talented as I would like it to be. But if they could keep it up these next few weeks, they could probably move up quite a bit. So I have them at 8 right now, but that was a great win against the Browns, and the Patriots have been on a hot streak in a playoff team for sure. So I got them at 8. Just above them, I have the Rams at 7. Can't really move them much higher than this. The past 2 weeks have been awful for the Rams. First against the Titans, where this offensive line got bullied and they lost by 2 scores. And then now just get absolutely destroyed by the 49ers. So this offensive line is not playing as good as it was earlier in the year, and that's really showing its effect on this offense. And the loss of Robert Woods really hurts. You ask yourself if they did indeed downgrade with OBJ, considering Robert Woods got hurt. I think Robert Woods has been playing better football than OBJ has. And that injury is big. That is big for the Rams. And a big reason why I think they lost is because of the chemistry, lack of chemistry there. They just looked completely out of sync. Whether it was forcing the ball to OBJ early in the game or it was the dropped pick six by Tyler Higbee, and the offense really couldn't get anything going. And this defense is just not there. This defense, Von Miller's debut, I do think he will get better as the season goes along. But this defense has issues, man. This defensive front, they can run the ball, they could pass the ball, and these past games, man, this Rams defense, they gotta step it up if they really want to win the Super Bowl. They got all the talent in the world. They got the coaching. I think they will play better down the stretch of the year. I think OBJ and Von Miller will play better, and this will help this team. That's why I'm keeping them at 7. But if they continue this streak and they don't get better, their bye week is here, so I think they'll come out of the bye better. Um, but man, they got to step it up. But Rams at 7, got all the talent. It's just that offensive line got to play better, and that defense got to find something. But Rams at 7. Number 6, I got the Buffalo Bills. I might be a smidge too high, but the Bills did what they should have done and just absolutely destroyed the Jets. Mike White, 4 interceptions. But here's the thing, the Bills got to do better against good teams. Their defense has been playing outstanding against bad offenses. I want to see them against good teams and good offenses. A lot of the Bills' stats and like, whoa, they have a great defense. It's been a lot of like the Jets or the Jaguars or teams like that. The Chiefs when they didn't know what they were doing early in the year. So Bills, I think they're a good team. Can get after the quarterback. Secondary is good. It's just offense needs to find consistency. I think they gained confidence and they gained some momentum, which is a huge part in this week to week league where there's a lot of unpredictability around. So against real teams, though, Josh Allen and the pass game can't fold. They can't turn the ball over, and they have to be able to stick in with those top teams if they want to win the Super Bowl. So we're going to learn a lot more. I got them at 6 right now. At number 5, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Quite the fall these past couple of weeks. It's just when Brady turns the football over 2 times or more in the game, it's looking like a loss so far in the league. They lost to Trevor Siemian and freaking Taylor Heineke in the 2-6 football team. Like this isn't good enough to win the Super Bowl. So they got to turn it around. It's a lot of sloppiness, a lot of penalties, a lot of just beating themselves. The coaching just isn't there. The pass rush is not as good on defense, and they're banged up in the secondary, and the secondary is not good. So that defense is not what it was last year when they got hot. And a lot of the teams in the NFC down the road, if the Buccaneers don't fix it, and if they don't get healthier somehow, or if they don't get better, then they're gonna lose in the playoffs. They're gonna lose to the Packers, the Cardinals, the Cowboys. Any of these teams can just come and bam. So they have Brady, the greatest of all time. They're missing Antonio Brown and Gronk, which is a huge part of it. But this defense, man, this secondary got to figure it out. This pass rush isn't as good. JPP isn't as good. Shaq Barrett, these guys aren't doing as well as we thought they would, and that's making it harder on the secondary. And these corners are on islands and they're getting beat, and it's hard. And that 10-minute drive for this defense does not look good. So the run defense is still good, but it's not that dominant unit we've seen over the past couple of years. So they got to figure it out. Tom Brady got to stop turning the ball over, and Bruce Arians needs to learn how to coach. He keeps blaming his whole team. It's like, Bruce, you see all those penalties they're committing? Like, the Buccaneers are supposed to be the most talented team in football when all healthy, can't stay healthy. Defense got a lot of questions, but it's Brady. This passing attack has been really good, but can't turn the ball over. I think it was a lot of bye week rust, and down the stretch, I do think they're one of the top contenders to win the Super Bowl. But right now, it's not looking good. So pass rush got to get better. Defense got to get better. They got to create more turnovers on the defensive side of the ball like they did last year. And offense, AB and Gronk got to come back, and they can't turn the ball over. So Buccaneers at 5. At number 4, you got the Tennessee Titans, the hottest team in the AFC and the highest ranking team, AFC team on this list. Um, Majorly a big reason why the Titans are doing good is because of that defense. Jeffrey Simmons, unbelievable, should be a Pro Bowler. One of the just getting so much pressure, just a dominant force inside. Harold Landry has been playing great. This pass rush is getting after the quarterback, and this defense is keeping the Titans in games and creating turnovers and helping them out a bunch. Kevin Byard and the secondary have also been playing great. So really well coached team. Mike Vrabel could be coach of the year. He's coaching his brains out. And they're just coming out with great game plans week after week and just finding ways to win even without Derrick Henry. They have a dominant receiver, A.J. Brown. Julio's banged up right now, but he should be coming back. The Titans just need to survive until the playoffs. They need to, because it looks like Derrick Henry has a chance to come back in the playoffs. Just gonna miss the rest of this regular season. So they got to survive until then. They got to get that 1 seed, and I think they're in a good position to do that. It's just this offense has been struggling a bit, and they almost lost to the Saints, so that's not a good look. I don't think they are better than these top NFC contenders. Um, but in terms of winning the Super Bowl, if they have Henry and Jones and this offense is able to get better because of that, and they can hold off these next few weeks while they're out, I think they're going to be a really scary team and potentially could win the AFC. I think as it is right now, they could win the AFC because the AFC is weak. But Titans at 4, Titans fans, your team's doing good. So tighten up. At 3, you got the Arizona Cardinals. I am not banging them at all. I'm not dinging them for that loss against the Panthers. I think that is a game you shouldn't take much away from the Cardinals side, and I think you should just analyze it from the Panthers side, but don't overreact. That's not the Cardinals because no Kyler Murray, no Hopkins. It's really hard to win games that way. And they were facing a great defense. This defense really going under the radar since the Panthers started losing games. But this pass rush is really good. Hassan Reddick, Brian Burns, they got all the play. This secondary just really good at covering, just glue the Panthers defense I'm talking about. But when you don't have Kyler Murray and D Hop, it's really hard to win games. But when they're coming back, the good news is they've been resting a lot. They've been looking like they might play some games these past couple of weeks, but they haven't. So really, we've seen why Kyler Murray's a starter and why Colt McCoy isn't. But here's the concern with the Cardinals. The good thing about the Cardinals, when with Kyler and Hopkins, they're probably the most explosive unit or top 3 for sure in the NFL. Just weapons all over the place. Hopkins, Green, Ertz, Kirk, Moore. You have Connor, who's been balling this season, and just weapons everywhere. And defensively, the secondary has been playing good, and Marcus Golden, this pass rush has been playing great. Run defense has been suspect, and Christian McCaffrey just tore him apart. But without Kyler and Hopkins, and without your starting quarterback and best receiver, hard to win games. But the concern is that with what we saw on Sunday, is if it's a fully Kyler Murray dependent offense like it was last year, and Kyler Murray gets banged up and they figure out how to clamp down on Murray, then that's how you slow down and beat the Cardinals, and it won't look good. So Murray has to stay healthy. Hopkins has to stay healthy. In football, that's never guaranteed staying healthy. So it really all comes down on their health, and they're taking precautions. They're keeping them out of games, which is smart. So I'm not as worried at that because I know they're getting their proper rest. Um, but I mean, that run defense can be had. That defense can be had. But they have a really good team. The offensive line is a bit of a concern. They've been banged up all year. But Cardinals are still one of the most talented teams and a team that I think could win the Super Bowl if Murray and Hop stay healthy. So Cardinals at 3. At number 2, you got the Dallas Cowboys, man. The Cowboys have been played a great game against the Falcons. That game against the Broncos, it looks like a fluke game to me, because it was Dak's first game back after Cooper Rush was in there. And the offense just looked really rusty, and that didn't help out the defense at all as the Broncos just cruised to that win. But Prescott bouncing back, and the Cowboys get that momentum. And again, it's these hot teams just gaining that momentum. It really does build into your confidence and your energy level. And when you're winning, it makes you feel good. So Cowboys are back on the upswing. That offense, it's so talented. Probably like the one of the most talented in the NFL. Offensive line, great. They can pass the ball, run the ball, do basically whatever they want on offense. Dak, Zeke, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb's been balling. Both of them been balling. Um, and then defensively, they have playmakers on all levels. They have Randy Gregory, who's been able to get after the quarterback this year nicely. They have Micah Parsons, who's been like the defensive rookie of the year, just rushing the passer, stopping the run, covering the pass, basically does it all. And Trayvon Diggs getting another interception. This secondary has been really good at creating turnovers. So they got a pass rush creating turnovers, and this offense is playing out of their mind. Dallas is going to be a really good team in the playoffs and a team you won't want to play. So I have them at number 2 right now in my power rankings. But at number 1, no bias, but it's true. It's the Green Bay Packers. Shut out the Seattle Seahawks. Just absolutely shut them out. This is the best defense in the NFC, or arguably the best defense in the NFL. And they don't even have their best pass rusher, as Darius Smith, and their best corner, as in Jair Alexander. So that is a scary thought. This defense, they're getting so well coached. The coaching is unbelievable. I mean, Matt LaFleur, Joe Barry, they're just coaching great. Offensive line coaches, despite the injuries, have been coaching amazingly. And David Bakhtiari is coming back. So that means Rodgers is going to have more time in the pocket, and that means more times for receivers to get open. And great. So this defense, getting after the quarterback, but losing Whitney Merciless was a huge blow. So that definitely hurts. So Preston Smith and Rashawn Gary and Jonathan Garvin are going to have to step up. But Dean Lowry has been good at getting rushing the passers. So the Packers have plenty of pass rushers. Devondre Campbell has been playing like the best linebacker in football. Corners, Eric Stokes having a great rookie season. Rasul Douglas has been doing good for filling in. Kevin King is actually not getting burned and making interceptions and doing good. And the safeties, Amos and Savage, have been amazing as usual. When the Packers have been able to run the ball, Aaron Jones avoided a major injury and injured reserve, and A.J. Dillon has been playing great, running for a pair of touchdowns and controlling the clock. So Packers offensive line likes to bully him up front. And a lot of teams are concerned about Aaron Rodgers in the pass game, but it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it's not like they're playing bad. They did have a bad game against Seattle, but it's going to happen. But I think this run game is one of the best in the league, and the receivers and passing game will definitely benefit off that. And Matt LaFleur is such a good game planner and play caller. Like against the Cardinals, That game was one of the best game plans I've seen in a while. Missing all your top guys and still being able to find a way to win. So that's really what it's going to come down to in the playoffs. Great defense, quarterback, head coach there, dominant receiver, dominant running backs. And I think the best team in the NFL right now, and probably my Super Bowl favorite as of right now. This Green Bay Packers team looks like they got it all to win the Super Bowl. Give these receivers time. MVS is talented. Adams, obviously, we know what we can do. He can do. Losing Tunyon for the whole year definitely does hurt a lot. But Aaron Jones, when he comes back, good receiver out of the backfield, and Lazard. So I'm not really too worried about the pass game. And when you have time to throw, Rodgers is going to dice you up and LaFleur with the play calls. So that is going to do it for me. That is the top 10 teams in the NFL, according to me. Let me know if you agree, disagree. What you think down in the comments section below. I think this is pretty accurate going forward. So thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Road to 400. Turn on all notifications. Don't miss a video. And see you in the next one. Peace out.